Welcome back everyone to episode 20 in our devlog series. This week has been completely packed with development, starting from the redesign of the inventory to the swimming mechanics and a bunch of new models. Without wasting any more time, I want to get straight into what we did in the beginning of the week. I started planning out how I wanted to handle swimming. The biggest challenge I had when implementing swimming was figuring out how I would do ascending and diving into the water. Since the movement script was limited really to just above ground walking and running and stuff like that, I really wanted to get vertical movement in place. So I started planning out exactly what I'd have to refactor and just get everything sorted and just figure it out, and exactly what I wanted to do to really concise the movement script and make it more readable, just like I've done with the player input before. While I was handling the swimming, Carl actually started on a plan to rework the inventory system. He made a short little diagram describing everything he wanted to do and exactly how everything would behave with each other, and it looked good, so he said he would get working right away. While we handled the programming side, Perforator and Excelsius started modeling up a couple of new environmental pieces and a new building, and Excelsius started on a rework to the bow, and he couldn't get the right shape, so he really just stopped doing that. And later on this week he actually started on something else, which is going to be really impressive. Hopefully in the next coming weeks you guys will see what it is. Towards the middle of the week, I got down and dirty with just refactoring the movement script. It didn't take too long to refactor. Some features that I believed to work didn't actually work, such as the slope detection and other small features like that, so I had to get those fixed up, and it wasn't too hard to fix up, just a couple lines of code. The rest of the code didn't take too long either, mostly just reorganizing them into functions and redesigning small bits of them to make sure that they work as efficient as possible, and just to make sure that swimming would be implemented as best as it can. While I handled swimming, Carl focused on redesigning the inventory system. He made the whole system modular, allowing us to easily implement new inventories to different objects and other nice features. It doesn't look too different from the outside, but on the inside it's just a breath of fresh air. It's very well organized compared to my duct tape system before, and it's very nicely structured and just kept up, and it just looks fantastic, so give him a thank you in the comments and in the Discord. While we worked hard on those mechanics, Perforator worked on making the new building for a project. He really wanted to make a wheat mill, so he focused on that towards the middle of this week, and he just kind of tried to get the style as best as he could, and he nailed it. In the background you can actually see the finished model, and I think it looks fantastic and just amazing. At the end of this week, I really got into the meat of the swimming mechanics. Making sure the gravity wasn't so harsh when entering the water was probably the biggest challenge, because I had to disable and re-enable it, but I got that pretty easily figured out. And finally, using the new movement script, I easily implemented the new movement in the water, allowing you to move around and everything you would do on land, but on water, and you're kind of floating above the water. The next thing I did was implement the diving and ascending movement, which was super easy with the refactoring I did earlier, so it didn't give me too much trouble. I had to redo it the night after I finished it just because I did it really messy, and I made it so much better the next day. But after that, in addition, I made a quick little bubble effect that would play whenever you're underneath the water. It's a slight effect, but I think it really sells the underwater feeling. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but I really enjoy it, so just let me know if you guys have any suggestions of what else I could add. The final thing I accomplished was with the help of Captain Conrad. He was messing around with the camera system we have and found some settings that would actually smooth out the flow and make the camera a bit more rigid, which actually makes it feel amazing. Some people would actually want a smoothed out camera, but we actually realized there's this issue when you move the mouse a little bit, it would actually move the camera a lot, while when you like swing your mouse to one side, it barely moves at all. We figured it out. It was because of this weird setting in Cinemachine that was smoothing it out or something along those lines, but we changed it and now it feels really rigid and linear, so that's really great. And that's kind of all all we really did on my side. When I was finishing up the swimming, actually Carl got back to me and showcased his new container system that he was going to use for the chests and the loot bags. He made it super easy to implement this container into any object, so now we could even add it into like dead tree stumps, bushes, and so many other more interesting places other than chests and dead bodies like we were planning to. I think this is really amazing. He got the inventory back to where it was, and it feels and looks so much more amazing than it was before. The insides just really fit and just really impact the whole way that we're going to be continuing with the inventory and other systems along those lines. When implementing these, Periperator was actually hard at work creating a ton of new models for the game. He finished up his wheat mill, created a nice looking grass texture that we can use on terrain to spruce up the diversity of our terrain. He made 6 different bushes, and then in addition to that, he made a gorgeous looking boat model, created a ton of new human tents, and 1 orc tent that he recently just made, and they all look fantastic, so I can't wait to see them all in game. So give him a big thanks in the Discord. He's been working really hard this week to get all these models in, and I just can't wait to see all of that. In addition, Excelsius started on something really exciting. After a poll a couple videos ago, we all agreed that we should kind of revamp the orc models. Excelsius got right on that and started modeling up an amazing looking orc. These are a couple of really early screenshots, but you can tell that it's going to be looking fantastic and it's going to fit the world way more. So hopefully when we start on AI in the next week or two, this is going to be the model we're going to be facing and fighting. But that's all we really have for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, hit that sub button. If you want to support the game financially, there is a Patreon and an itch.io link that you can donate to help support this game, and all the money goes back straight into the project. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next week.